Mahwera says, Sanmonani, I hope you are doing well and welcome to Matarinda Africa News. It's been a while and I love you so much. Thank you so much for your subscription and thank you for your engagement. I see a lot of comments and I've been doing my best to make sure that I follow up and have some discussions regarding what is affecting Africa and the rest of the world. As you all know, there've been the signing of the Washington Accords for peace and prosperity between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. And before we go on to share on the history, I've seen quite a lot of conversations online, people asking questions like, why do we need the USA to come and solve African problems? And in the same sentence, I had a discussion with someone who comes from Congo who said, where was Africa when DRC needed it, right? Where was Africa? Where was Africa Union? Where was everyone? For 30 good years, there've been a lot going on. So relations between Rwanda and the DRC have been tense and violent for nearly 3 decades, with the roots going back to the aftermath of the 1994 Rwandan genocide and Rwandan interventions in what became the First and Second Congo Wars of 1996 to 2003. And the most recent of that's since 2022 centered on Rwanda's support for the M23 rebellion in eastern DRC and Kinshasa's accusations of Rwandan invasion and resource plunder. I think we also that last year and early this year things were very tense in the DRC, with the M23 doing everything that they could to fight off the Congolese soldiers. How the conflict started. After the 1994 genocide, Hutu militias and ex-Rwandan army units fled into eastern Zaire, now DRC, launching attacks into Rwanda and threatening its new government. Rwanda responded by backing Congolese rebels and then sending its own troops into Zaire in 1996, triggering the First Congo War and later the Second Congo War, embedding Rwanda deeply in Congo's conflicts and politics. I still remember, Zimbabwe sending our own soldiers to assist in DRC. And while it worked, it helped a lot for quite some time. But later on, things went back to normal. The people of Congo suffered a lot. What has been happening recently, that since 2022, Rwanda has been accused of sending forces into eastern DRC and militarily backing the M23 movement against the Congolese army and allied militias, which Kigali justifies partly by citing the threats from Hutu extremist group FDLR operating from DRC. Right, this has led to repeated border incidents, the fall of key towns in North Kivu, mass displacements of civilians, and a serious diplomatic crisis with DRC cutting ties, expelling Rwandan ambassador and calling Rwanda's actions an invasion. This has been going on from as far back as 1996, so we can say roughly 29 to 30 years, shifting between war and uneasy cooperation. So it's been something that that has been going on for a very, very long time. So what was signed between between Rwanda, DRC, and the United States? Also, there are three main agreements that's been signed, which are Washington Accords for Peace and Prosperity, the US-DRC Strategic Partnership Agreement, and the related security MOU, and the US-Rwanda Framework for Shared Economic Prosperity. I'll break them down for you. Washington Accords DRC Rwanda, which was hosted by the United States. This is a joint DRC Rwanda political framework hosted by the US, reaffirming their June 27, 2025 peace agreement and committing to end conflict, cooperate on security, and implement the Regional Economic Integration Framework, RAIF. It is the umbrella accord that links peace, security, and cross-border economic integration in the Great Lakes region with the U.S. as convener and supporter. Number two is the US-DRC Strategic and Security Agreements, a strategic partnership agreement between the United States and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which was signed to create a broad long-term framework for cooperation, including governance, economic development, and critical minerals. In addition, a memorandum of understanding concerning an expanded security partnership between the US and DRC was also signed, deepening military and security cooperation to support implementation of the peace commitments. US-Rwanda Economic Framework, which is a US-Rwanda framework for shared economic prosperity, which was signed, focused on economic cooperation and investment, aligning Rwanda with the US supported regional economic and supply chain initiatives. Together with the US DRC agreements, it positions both DRC and Rwanda as key partners for US backed economic growth and stability tied to the Washington Accords and RAIF. So this is what's been going on, and it's signed, it's sealed, and it is delivered. Are the people of Congo happy? From the few that I've spoken to and checking online, I've noticed that a lot of people are engaging, and I've got someone who also sent me a message here, who is based in the DRC, saying we have seen a lot of changing. We are still monitoring. We are still monitoring the developments, but most of the contracts with the Chinese have been cancelled, and we are embracing American companies coming into DRC. So when you look at the Chinese have been going into mostly southern Eastern Africa, in mining, agriculture, and in all sectors. And looking at the videos that's been shared online, and some of which that I've shared on this platform, the way they operate has been questioned. That do they really care about locals? How much are they paying? There's been reports of abuse. So compared to American companies, the people of Congo actually favoring the Americans way better. And from a comment I received, the lady said, Americans don't want any nonsense. You reek of corruption. They don't want to hear anything like that. So we are expecting to see some changes, and this change is not something that's going to happen overnight or just in the next 2 years. We can give it 5 to 10 years to see how things are going to work out, and if this is the best decision ever. I've seen a lot of Pan-African commentators and analysts on social media saying this is not the best for DRC. So I don't know. This is just a broad question that I'm asking here. If this is not the best for Congo, can we allow the war to go on in DRC for another 30 years? Is that what we are saying as Africans? As Africans, we failed to stop that war for 30 good years. We failed to stop it on our own. And Congo have been bleeding for a very long time. They've been reaching out to the world, and they were willing to take any deal that was going to end the war in the region, in their country. But Africa Union, where are you? How is it that they could not come together, and it had to take the president of the United States of America to put an end? Hate him, like him, that's up to you. But what Congo and Rwanda needed was a peace agreement, was something to put an end to this fight. Yes, it's too early to say they might start fighting again, but we are just hoping that this seals the deal. This can only be felt by people in the country, people who see war every day, who see women and children being displaced, who see women getting raped, who see bodies every day. When we are sitting in the comfort of our homes, we might have an idea of how this should be done or the best decision ever, because we are speaking from a position, we are speaking from a position of um, we are speaking from a position of privilege. We are speaking from a position of not having to witness losing your own family. So they made a decision based on what is on the ground. And I saw um, this excitement from the people from the DRC. I saw this excitement just not today, but it's been long going when the US started, talks with both countries. Share your thoughts. Let us see how this is going to go. What do you think? How best do you think Africans should resolve conflicts without involving the outside world? And let us also look at how does this whole thing benefits the people of Congo and Africa. And also, I've seen that there's quite a number of opportunities that's going to come from the DRC. Like I said, I was talking to my people in DRC who have already started their own companies in in the DRC. um, this is where we need to also jump in as Africans and say, how can we contribute to rebuilding Congo? How can we jump in and also benefit from the outcome of this deal? There is going to be a lot of funding and sponsorship going in the country. So how do we position ourselves that at the moment, DRC is the most favored child when it comes to donors, sponsors, investors, and so forth. So, how can you play your role? How can you benefit from this? If you have got anybody who comes from the DRC in your country, if they are planning to go back home, if they are planning to also contribute to nation building, how are you also positioning yourself? What skills do you have that you believe that it will be required in Congo? And as we look at it, this might be the best deal that Congo received today. So share your thoughts. Let me hear what you have to say. Thank you for your subscription. Let's keep the conversation going.